Today, I'm going to be sharing the top 5 insults that I get from men and women online. And when I say online, I'm talking about insults I've received on dating apps and also on my YouTube channels. And I do have a couple YouTube channels, so this is one of them. And I want to share that with you, but most importantly, share the fact that all of us have unfair advantages that can overshadow those insults or those weaknesses that you have. All right. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm a Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right. Top 5 insults that I've received from men and women online. And like I said, specifically, either on dating apps when I've rejected someone, where I've said, hey, look, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling the connection. And more women than not have been vile in their response and have said some of these insults to me because they didn't like being rejected. Or men just watching my videos here on this channel and throwing out some insults, because they have nothing better to do. So here are the 5. And no particular order, but these are the 5. All right. Number 1 is, well, you're bald. Yep, I am bald. Duh. And I started going bald when I was 30, and I decided I'm not going to grow my hair along the sides and be like the Star Trek captain there. Or I'm not going to do hair transplants. I'm just going to embrace it. Now, luckily for me, I can grow a beard, so it kind of offsets things. But I'm like, you know what? If Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, can sport being bald and a beard, or Jason Statham, to name a few, and they look cool, they're masculine, then why not? So, but doesn't matter. I get that insult quite a bit. You're bald. Number 2, you're old. Well, yeah, I'm older now. I am definitely an older guy. I am not in my prime anymore. I'm not in like sports prime. Prime typically for a man ends at like 35. I'm past that age. So some would say old, whatever. I don't give a shit, So you can't let this stuff affect you. Somebody says, oh, you're an old man. I'm like, okay, whatever. So that's what it is. That's number 2. Oh, number 3 is you're short. Yes, I am short. I am not average height. The average height for a man in North America is 5'9". I'm 5'7". Fair. Can't do anything about it. And I'm not going to obsess over buying shoes with the thicker heel and all this nonsense. Like, it is what it is. Can't change it. If you ever watched Selling the OC, that's a real estate show, and the 2 partners, these guys are short. These guys are like 5'4", and 5'2", something like that. These guys are fucking ballers. So again, that's their unfair advantage. But most women want a tall guy. Most women want 6 feet. They want to feel protected. It is what it is. So I have to make up for that difference, right? I don't allow it to discourage me. It is what it is. I can't change it, and I have other things to offer. But that's another insult that I get. You're short. Number 4, you're a has-been DJ. Yes, I DJ. And I don't DJ to try and be famous at all. I moved to Atlanta from Canada. And when I knew I was moving to Atlanta, which is like the music scene in America, right? It's one of the top music cities in America. I was like, shit, I should get back into DJing. Why? Not because I want to be famous. Nope, not interested in that. Because I love music and I'm good at it. And it's a great way for me to meet new friends and women. And man, I have met so many friends and women DJing. I DJ'd an event this last weekend, a house party, and I met 2 women, right? Another event I did, I got, met 2 other women, phone numbers both times, right? Like, so it's a great way. And I'll talk about social status in a minute. So it's a great way to be out there, have fun. But I do get insulted and they say, oh, your husband DJ. Okay, fine, whatever. And then number 5 is, oh, you're gay. Okay. Maybe from the way I communicate, the way I sound, my mannerisms, I could come across maybe in a certain way. But I'll tell you, I have a preference, and that is for women only. I've never kissed a guy, I've never had sex with a guy. I know what I like, but hey, observations are observations and perceptions perception, and that's what people are going to say. So they think it's like going to hurt me or something, and I don't give a shit. So they say that you're, those five things. So now what I want to turn the conversation to is unfair advantages. And I remember watching this one YouTuber, a young woman with over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So she's making over 500,000 per year, just as an estimate, with 1 million subscribers. Like, that's big money for a young person. Anyone, that's a lot of money, right? Very few people make over. By the way, men, only 1% of the population of men in North America, only 1% make over 400,000 per year. So you are in a very, very rare category if you're making that kind of money, let alone on YouTube. So unfair advantages. So let me just talk about this, and I'll tell you the point of this afterwards. Okay. So she said in one of her video tips, and this was tips on how to grow your YouTube channel. She's like, everyone has unfair advantages. Tap into your unfair advantages to grow your YouTube channel. Okay, fair enough. So what are my unfair advantages, right? And this is important. You guys need to do the same thing with yourself and write them down. Be objective and go, you know what? This is a fact. So number one is most women out there would consider me to be an attractive man. Okay, let's take it for face value. That's an unfair advantage, right? Number two, many women would say I have pretty eyes. Fair. That's an unfair advantage. And specifically, that's an unfair advantage when I'm in front of the camera, right? Because the camera, obviously people watching anything on TV, they tend to like looking at more attractive people. And if they like pretty eyes, great. So those are unfair advantages. I look younger than my age. That is true. Most people think I'm still in my 30s or my early 40s, which is not the case. But that's an unfair advantage. Again, advantage for creating video content online. All right. I speak well, and not everyone speaks very well and can put sentences together. So I pride myself on that. And I took Toastmasters when I was younger, and that could be considered an unfair advantage because I am asked to speak regularly during my job at events and things like that. So that's another one. I'm charismatic. I'm very comfortable working a room and meeting people socially. Most people are pretty shy. One of the greatest fears that people have is public speaking, and I have no problem speaking in public, let alone in front of the camera. You can see from this video that obviously I keep myself in pretty good shape. So that's definitely an unfair advantage with men my age. I can sit there in a restaurant, sit at the bar and look at all the men that are around my age, and I'm like, nope. Most men do not take care of themselves anymore. So that could be considered an unfair advantage. Again, this is all positive for being in front of the camera and in dating, right? So another one is my income is in the top 5% of men. So that's a big one. I am a C-level executive. From a professional standpoint, my job has high status. That's an unfair advantage. You see where I'm going from this? And then last, just to leave you, because I don't want to, I want to be able to fit through the door after this. Just kidding. So the last one is social status. And let me just talk about this for a second. Social status is massive in terms of a foot in the door. And what do I mean by social status? Women are attracted initially to men with high social status because they don't really have anything else to go on. So for example, have this attraction to bartenders, right? They have this attraction to DJs. They have this attraction to bouncers, doormen at the front that will determine who gets in and who doesn't. They have an attraction, believe it or not, to Uber drivers. You have no idea how many Uber drivers have said that women flirt with them all the time and want to go out with them, want them to sleep over at their place, like all kinds of stuff. And for whatever reason, to them, it's kind of social status in a weird way. So it doesn't mean you're like marriage potential or dating potential, but they're like, again, it's the foot in the door. They're like, wow. Another example of social status is being a YouTuber, having a lot of followers on your Instagram. That is big time for me. So on my personal Instagram, I have over 40,000 followers. And when I connect with a woman and she's like, oh, why don't we exchange Instagrams? I'm like, okay, I don't think anything of it. I don't say anything. She sees my Instagram. She sees 40,000. She'll look at me and she'll go, wow, you have a lot of followers. Social status. It's impressing her, right? Way more than me driving a Rolls Royce or something, like, or a BMW. And you might be thinking, well, no fucking way. Well, no, yeah, wait. Initially, that's what I'm talking about. Initially, the social status, that's what they gravitate towards and they see. Okay, so why I covered all this, right? And it's not to inflate my ego at all and share all this stuff with you viewers. No, no, no. It's to just give you an example of I wrote all these things down when I was planning this video. I was like, okay, I got these insults or these disadvantages, right? Ding, 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 ding. But what are my unfair advantages? Like, realistically, what are they? And I started writing them down. I'm like, holy shit, I have a lot of unfair advantages. And by the way, you do too. You just don't realize it. So that's why you should write them down, but be like realistic about it. Write them down and you'll be like, fuck. Like, for example, I can't fix anything. I can't. I'm not a handyman. Maybe you're a handyman and you can fucking build a build a cabinet, you can build shelving, you can renovate a house. Like, holy shit, women love handyman. I don't have that. That's a weakness I have. So maybe you speak multiple languages, you have an accent. I don't really have an accent, maybe a bit of a Canadian one, but see what I'm going with this? So you can capitalize on that stuff in your dating, and that's the point I'm trying to make. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate your time. And let me know in the comments what your unfair advantages are, because I want to hear about that. All right. We'll see you next time, man. Thanks. Bye.